Hello everyone, Budget Buggy is back again. Actually, this time I am going to do the Messi challenge that just got put up today. I think it was today. I got the update and I saw that there was a new challenge. And this is kind of a new challenge that they have this time, which is use a particular player and recreate a feat. That is Messi scoring 5 goals in the Champions League earlier this week, or last week, sorry. And so I decided to just give it a go. They actually let you choose your difficulty. So I started out, I said I'll just give all of them a try until I can find a difficulty where I can, replicate Messi's 5 goals in one game feat. I started out in Legendary. It was a pretty decent start. I got a nice goal, a little bit of a hustle there by Messi. Um, and then it was getting a little bit ineffective. The other team, Bayern Leverkusen, were holding onto the ball, and my players weren't really pressuring. I thought it was because the default formation had 3 strikers up front, and Barcelona didn't have enough players to pressure the ball. So I tried to change the formation around, give it something like a 5-4-1, just to get more players behind the ball, so that way the high pressure situation would help to get possession back, and then I could actually do something with it. So I tried that, but unfortunately, sometimes on world class and legendary, the CPU just decides that you are not going to have the ball, and the CPU players play with such sentience, and that probably should have been a penalty actually. Um, they play with such awareness and the skill that it's almost impossible. And even though it's Messi doing all these turns, it's still pretty tough. Um, I will say that Messi is extremely good at ball control. I don't generally play head to head, or I don't have him on Ultimate Team. Obviously, I don't have that much money. But using him here was, a pleasure because he has such good close control on the ball. And again, this is just another one of my standard Virtual Pro moves is kind of stand in front of the defender to receive the ball and then turn. And as you turn, you pivot across the defender. Here, I'm actually calling for passes because otherwise the CPU rarely, if ever, passes to you. Um, and that was scumbag Iniesta just taking my goal, tapping it in. But anyway, so I got 3 goals on Legendary. I was quite surprised with myself, actually. I didn't think I would do that well. Um, and I was right to be surprised because, it was the 67th minute. And after 90 minutes, I just couldn't get any other opportunities to really score. The CPU just decided that was it. I had my 3 goals, and there's no way, my team's going to touch the ball. So essentially, we never got possession back. So I bumped down the difficulty, actually, to world class. And I tried to give it another go. And surprisingly, they scored first on a lower difficulty against me. Um, Again, it almost felt like the CPU wanted them to have that kind of a goal. And the formation was kind of messed up, so I tried to make it a little bit more defensive with 2 holding midfielders so I could get the ball back if I lost possession, and put Messi up top as the striker in that role. And I was able to get a pretty good goal. I was quite proud of myself about with that skill move. Um, Messi just putting it away, and a pretty enjoyable celebration by him. And I just had to watch my own move again. That was pretty good, if I have to say so myself. It wasn't like fantastic, but I generally get tackled whenever I try to pull off a move like that. Um, so that was a good start, actually, to my world class um, attempt. So it was 1-1, but unfortunately, I couldn't get more touches. Again, the CPU deciding that it wasn't going to be my day. So I just bumped it down to professional. And I actually played a couple of restarts with world class, but I didn't get anywhere. And so I just decided to bump it down. I didn't really want to spend hours trying this challenge. Um, and here, I think on professional, I think I got 1 goal. Um, but it was significantly easier. The difference between world class and legendary and professional is world class and legendary are kind of similar in that the AI doesn't do things different in Legendary. They just get faster and stronger and harder to beat. But in Professional, you can kind of see or feel the drop-off in the AI pressure when you have the ball. In World Class, they'll tackle you immediately. In Professional, they'll give you some time on the ball. And on Semi-Pro, they'll just not really tackle you unless you run into them. And I tried on Professional a couple of times as well. I have some more footage, but I decided not to put it in because it wasn't really exciting. The goals weren't really highlight reel goals. And I wasn't really getting anywhere close to 5 goals. I don't think I even scored 3 goals in all my attempts on Professional. I really wanted to get it done on Professional because that just seems like, one of the minimum challenging modes. As soon as I switched it to Semi-Pro, Barcelona started playing like the gods that they are in real life. And I had basically had a lot of this kind of situation where I had possession in their half, in their third of the pitch, and I was just able to dribble past people with Messi, and then that kind of a goal would never go in on World Class, or it would very rarely go in. It's pretty rare that the keeper is this bad on those difficulties. But on Semi-Pro, I think they give you a lot more latitude on goal scoring. So Messi with a nice shot, low past the keeper. And I think, I get my second one up. And as you can see, the defender didn't really challenge me. He would have stripped that ball from me right away on a higher difficulty. And so I just kind of took it in, shielding it slightly. I didn't turn into him. I did that a couple of times in this attempt, and they will tackle you if you turn into them with the ball. I think on amateur, they don't even tackle you at all, unless you lose it yourself. And so I decided to get another goal, and this is kind of a similar goal, just going on the right. They're trying, defense is trying to shepherd me outside, like any good defense should, but they're not, pressuring me nearly enough. And so I'm still able to get the shot off, and since it's Messi, from that kind of an angle, he actually does score. And here's another nice set of passes and play from me, taking it all the way from our third of the pitch, passing it, and then kind of, dinking it past that defender. And then a nice finish. Actually, I probably hit the shoot button quite late, but Messi with the skill to make it happen and almost celebrating as he kicked on his knees. And just great effort to get the ball into the net from Messi. And the fifth one is coming up here, I believe. Messi taking 1-2 pass. I think it's from Fabregas. I'm not sure. And look at that. There's just no defenders. And I had all the time in the world, and Messi just coolly sliding it past the keeper, just like real life, where he doesn't really, he either dinks it or he just, slides it past the keeper. Just a real finisher's goal, that one. So that was the 5 goals. And I actually wanted to score more. But somehow, again, we didn't get, possession of the ball until, late in the game. And then by that time, it was already 90 minutes. We're up. But I was quite happy because I'd finished the challenge. I wasn't happy that I had to do it on Semi-Pro. But, them's the breaks. I just didn't want to keep trying. It's quite frustrating on professional difficulty if you don't get that 5th goal. And I knew on Semi-Pro I could do it. So that's how the challenge ended. And as you can see, there's quite a difference between the way your own AI defends and plays when you're playing at Semi-Pro or amateur difficulties versus professional and world class and legendary. And at world class and legendary, almost feels like, and I'm very cautious to use words like feels like, because I don't really have any proof, and it wouldn't really make any sense for there to be any programming that predetermines the result of a game. It doesn't make any sense as a software engineering paradigm. But it is definitely hard to the degree where you feel as if in legendary and world class difficulties that if the computer decides, the CPU decides that you're not going to score, you will not score. Especially on virtual pro mode where you're not controlling all the players, you're only controlling one player. That's even more so than perhaps on head to head or any of the other modes where you can control different players, but most of the team is controlled by AI. It does seem as if the CPU decides early on that you're not going to win this game. But I have had some extremely exciting matches on my career mode where I've come back from improbable score lines, just like Chelsea did today. Haha. Great work by Chelsea, by the way. They got through to the next stage of the Champions League. I couldn't believe they did it 4-1. That's just almost 5-4 in aggregate, I believe it was. That's quite the comeback. But that kind of a situation has happened in game for me, and that it makes it a more fun game. So I guess I'm in favor of those kinds of things happening in game. If it makes it a more fun game, it might make it extremely frustrating at some points, though. So that's the challenge that I completed. I got 700 XP for completing it on semi-pro, and I've completed almost all of the challenges. I think I missed 2 of the challenges. You can see there I missed Kings of the North, and I missed replicate a late Gunner's victory. And I think I was just not playing FIFA or doing something else, so I just missed those challenges. I like these challenges, and I hope EA keeps doing them. All right, let me know if you guys want to see more with a like or a comment, and I'll see you guys later.